Hello, Year 10. As promised, here are your answers to yesterday's work. So as you're marking these, you're going to need to pause the video to mark your work. And what you'll notice when we get onto the unitary form questions, the fractions have been simplified, but they have in some cases been left as improper fractions. So for example, 4c here has been left as 5/2 instead of simplifying that to 2.5. So you might have changed that to 2.5, but actually, although that is correct, in this case, improper fractions is probably an easier way to deal with this ratio. So you can leave it in this form unless you're specifically told to give your answer in a different way. So pause the video and mark your work and see how you got on. Okay, so today's work is going to be about writing ratios in fraction form. So I'm going to go through a couple of examples and then you're going to have a go at some questions yourself. So example 1, the ratio of dry days to rainy days is 5:2. What fraction of the days are dry? Now, we've looked at proportion boxes so far, but there's another really important strategy for ratio, and that is bar modelling. So I'm going to use a bar model for this. I know that I have 5 parts dry to 2 parts rainy, and those parts are all equal in size. So altogether, I have got 7 equal parts, 5 of them dry, 2 of them rainy. And I'm asked for the fraction of the days that are dry. So out of those 7 equal parts, how many parts are dry? Well, that is 5. And so the fraction of the days that are dry is 5/7. It's really common for people to just take the 2 parts of their ratio and turn that into a fraction and give that as an answer. But you have to focus on what the total number of parts is. If necessary, you should simplify your fraction here as well, but in this case, there is no number that will divide into both other than 1, so we're going to leave it as 5/7. Example 2, the ratio of teachers to pupils on a school trip is 3:15. What fraction are pupils? Give your answer in its simplest form. So I'm going to draw out my bar model. I've got 3 teachers, or the ratio is 3 parts of teachers to 15 parts which are pupils. And I've marked these with T for teachers and P for pupils because I couldn't fit the whole word in. And so if I'm giving the fraction of pupils, I'm going for how many equal parts altogether. Well, that is in total 3 plus 15, which gives me a total of 18 equal parts. And then how many of those are pupils? Well, there are 15 that are pupils, so that gives me 15 out of 18. But I can simplify this fraction because there is a number that will divide into both of those, and that is 3. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 3, and that will give me 5/6. So I know that 5/6 of the people on this school trip were pupils. Okay, so here is your task. This might be a little bit small, so I'm going to attach this to the assignment as a separate sheet. So you can pause the video and work from here if you can see that okay. Otherwise, if you go back to the assignment, you'll be able to open this document separately. And each time you're given some sort of ratio and you're asked for a fraction associated with that ratio. So you should be writing your fraction, and then where you can, you should be simplifying. Again, what I'm going to ask you to do is to show all of your working in your maths book, and then upload a photo to Teams when you submit your assignment, just as you did on Monday and Tuesday. And then at the start of tomorrow's lesson, I will give you the answers to these questions.